December was a busy month. I did 7 locations in the month of December. So this video is kind of just for me to see where I was in December, where I spent Christmas, and just a little roundup of my December. As we went into December, I was in Alcobaça, then I went to Peniche for a couple of days on my way down to a house sit in Sintra. I took the coastal road, the I don't know, I'll put it up there somewhere, and that was a lovely drive down the coast. Lots of beautiful surfing spots, so really enjoyed that drive. Obviously lots of stopping along the way. So my house sit in Sintra just was one dog, and he was an older dog, so we went on long but slow walks, but let me show you what walking the dog around that neighbourhood was like. Daily walks were like there. I am used to that here, but there it just seemed to be on another level. As with everywhere in Portugal, there was loads and loads of rain while I was down there. It seemed to be constantly raining. The waves were huge down on the coastline, and the other thing I got to do while I was down there was meet one of you, and it's great after talking for like over a year over the internet and on we used to have some little weekly conference calls with a group of people that were wanting to move to Portugal, so it was lovely to see one of you on Portuguese soil. And it was a 3-hour drive to Castelo Branco to Fundão. Wow, look at the price of fuel. That's the cheapest it's been in a long time, 155. Definitely gonna go and fill up. Went and checked up on Cindy's farm and sent her a little video report, and stayed at my go-to Airbnb in Fundão, which was actually closed for Christmas because they had all family over, but they said I could come and stay, so that it was such a warm welcome. Then I hit the road again to make my way up to Braga for a house sit. So that's location number 5. 3-hour drive, €18 in tolls to get up there. And the house sit was for over the, it was a week. I think it was a week? Anyway, but it was over the Christmas period, but it did finish in between Christmas and the New Year. And that is not a good idea. I knew that wasn't a good idea to book a house sit that finished in between Christmas and the New Year, but I did because it was a nice sit, and you really don't get many house sits up there in the north unless they're kind of in the city of Porto and Braga, which I don't like to be in. So the sit was just one cat. Actually, it wasn't one cat, it was two cats. It was officially one cat. And as with a lot of Portuguese house sits, there's often strays that are thrown in as well that need feeding. So this one had a cat and a stray cat that's lived in the garage. They put out a bed and food and water and everything and left the garage door ajar. So I had to feed that cat as well. I also got the opportunity again to meet up with a wonderful woman who lives in the area. We went and explored the mountains up around by her place, and she knows the area really well and showed me places that were currently for sale. So we went and had a look at those, and she's just knowledgeable in so many things, so it's lovely spending time with her. Christmas Day was lovely, spent with a wonderful family in their beautiful Quinta, which was once a massive wine producing Quinta, so it had lots of history and all the old buildings from the wine producing of the past. So it was amazing. It was an amazing place. It was really lovely, and I ate way too much sugar. They had some amazing desserts. And well, that's what you do at Christmas, don't you? Overdo it. And we watched films, and I cried when we watched The Sound of Music. The songs were played at my mum's funeral, so I only have to see The Sound of Music and I get tearful. I also met up with Georges, who amongst other things is a hiker and a photographer, and he's just published this book with amazing photographs of the natural parks and the lagoons and the waterfalls in the area. He also, I believe, shows people around Braga. If you're thinking of moving to that area, then he can do tours and show you around. And he has a YouTube channel, but that's of his lovely natural park footage, drone footage, and yeah, lovely, knows the area well. Me and Foster are just saying our goodbyes. Our goodbyes. Yeah. I am sitting in my car because it's raining again. It hasn't stopped raining. I haven't seen the sky in 2 weeks, and I'm starting to get wet again. So I'm sitting in my car until it stops so I can get out. My next stop was this hostel on the other side of Braga, and I call it a hostel for grown-ups because it's a hostel, but it doesn't look like any hostel you might imagine. I did have a double room with my own bathroom, and it's very nice, very spacious, big rooms, your own bathroom, not en suite, you have to go over the corridor, but really nice, huge bathrooms. And because I wanted to stay in the area for longer, oh, it had wooden floors and underfloor heating. Yeah, so I wanted to stay in the area longer, for a couple more weeks, but because, as I said earlier, this house it finished in between Christmas and the New Year, it's a really bad time because I would have needed the accommodation to go over the New Year, and the prices were extortionate. I mean, I find them expensive anyway up in that area. Well, I find them expensive all over Portugal, but I find the north particularly costly. And honestly, I could rent a place in London cheaper. So yeah, so I just stayed here for a few nights and then made my way back down to Fundão, which is like my little home, the Airbnb that was closed, but they let me come and stay. Then I had a plan. See, this is why I don't plan. But then things took a different turn. So I'll see you on the next one, where I can't believe where I'm staying.